Ben Johnson announced on the Up and Adams show with Kay Adams that Bears starters will play in the preseason finale against the Kansas City Chiefs. My name is Harrison Graham. This is Chicago Bears Now. We'll talk about that, plus some other news of the day, so stay tuned. But Kay Adams was at Bears training camp today, spoke with Ben Johnson, also DJ Moore and Rome Odunze. We might touch on that part of it tomorrow, but did want to start with this as Ben Johnson did announce that starters will play. He said we'll see how long, so, I would imagine it's probably in the ballpark of what we saw last week. One drive on the low end, 3 drives on the high end. If one of the first 2 drives is pretty good. Hell, if they score on the opening drive, maybe they just call it there. I could certainly see that being the case. But either way, they are going to put starters out there. We'll see if that includes the Joe Thuney's, the Grady Jarrett's, the DeAndre Swift, some of the vets that did not play against Buffalo this past week. But not sure exactly what that plan is. But it's exciting because Andy Reid announced that the Chiefs starters are going to play too. So a little Caleb Williams, Patrick Mahomes, little Friday night action there coming up this week. So, hey, gives a little more juice to the preseason finale. A little side note, by the way, Fox announced that the preseason game against Buffalo averaged 5.1 million views. That's like half of an NBA Finals game. So football is king, preseason football. Perhaps the Caleb Williams effect, just, throwing that out there. But, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. If they didn't play, sure, it's always fun to cover and watch a game. But you get to that third preseason game, you're kind of just like, get me out of here. But, hey, starters are going to be playing. Roster spots could be on the line. So, definitely excited. I also think, more importantly, it's a good decision. And Ben Johnson kind of alluded to this after the last game when he last spoke to the media that, yeah, we might want to go through that exercise of playing a team on the road and playing starters on the road. And in this case, the opponent is playing their ones, whereas the Bills did not. Had the Bills played their ones, maybe they call it off this week, but Chiefs are playing their ones. It's a road environment at Arrowhead. Sure, it's not going to be a regular season environment, but just a good opportunity to kind of go through the operation, not in comfortable Soldier Field, right? Like the crowd's going to be louder for Caleb, getting the play in and out of the huddle, all that stuff. So I think it's a good move. Again, if you have a good first drive, I'm cool calling it there. Maybe you go 3 and out, you do one more drive. Wouldn't imagine these guys play long, but I do think it's the right call for Ben Johnson to play these guys on Friday. I'm fired up. If you're excited for Friday night, let's get the Bear Downs flowing in the comment section below. Rocking my Bear Down shirt today. Get it? Get it? Going down the elevator. Get the Bear Downs going in the chat because Caleb and the boys suiting up on Friday night. Speaking of which, we will be live here on Bears Now. I believe the game's at 7, so 5:45 Central Time. We will run it back with a watch party. Should be a lot of fun, so be sure to join us on Friday. Subscribe, spread the word. We, of course, will be here. Okay. Ben Johnson, one other thing I wanted to hit on his interview with Kay Adams. She asked him basically, hey, like, what's different, with this offense compared to what you had in Detroit? And here's what he had to say. He said, quote, "It's completely different personnel. We're going to do what our guys do best. I think we have weapons in every room, running back, tight end, receivers. It's going to be hard on us as coaches to make sure make sure everyone is getting the ball." And this has been a theme since he took the job and said, we're going to build this offense around Caleb and our personnel, which is obviously great to hear. We're not just going to copy paste my scheme. It's, I'm going to have my concepts, but we're going to tailor-made them for the talent we have. It's just so refreshing to hear that. Like, yeah, that's what a smart coach should do. We're going to lean into what this team can do well. Your offense should constantly be changing year over year, at least evolving based on the personnel you have. It should be growing just based on the guys coming back, being able to absorb more information. But, now we have this 4-2-8 track speed guide. Let's implement 6 or 8 plays designed for that guy. Like, you should do that type of stuff. Yeah, maybe I ran a little more gap scheme in Detroit, but if our offensive line feels more comfortable in a wide zone running scheme, we're going to lean into that a little bit more. He's kind of talked about that yeah, we'll kind of figure out what this team does best and what fits best for everyone. So it's just really, really nice to hear. He also added this nugget about just preseason play calling. He said this is the same game plan in preseason preseason that I've done the past 4 years, so the play should look the same. We just dusted off an old one, and the guys are going out and executing at a high level. That's the plan for the preseason. Once we get into the regular season, we'll have more fun. We want to see pad level execution, get off in the preseason. All the boring stuff for everyone else is what we want to see as coaches. So he's kind of reiterating what we people on the outside know. The preseason's vanilla. Teams aren't giving away advanced concepts. But I'll tell you this, the vanilla Ben Johnson play design and play scheme is a lot more better and just fun to watch than the actual regular season offense of Luke Getsy or Shane Waldron. Like, if this is the vanilla stuff, I'm excited for what's to come. Now, what's to come could be tougher to execute at times, of course, because it could be more advanced. But it is exciting to think about that. If, like, this is like the entry-level concepts of Ben Johnson's offense, like, just how dynamic could this offense be? It may not happen overnight, but you could already feel the potential just in a couple of preseason drives the other night. I don't think there is a limit for how good this offense could be if things click, not only this season but in the future as well. So excited for the starters playing Friday, and we, of course, will bring that to you. We're sponsored by Prize Picks. I promise you this. I'm going to be launching Prize Picks lineups all season long because it's the best daily fantasy sports app on the planet. Got another week of preseason football. College football is here as well, so do not miss out on any of the action on Prize Picks. It's very easy to play Prize Picks, as you just pick more or less on stat projections on 2 to 6 player lineups. If you get your lineup right, you can win up to 2,000 times your money. You heard that right. $10 could turn into 20,000 on certain Prize Picks lineups. Week 0 is here, by the way, and we got a special deal for you as you're halfway home to winning a 2-player lineup by taking more than a half passing yard for Avery Johnson. I also like Rocco Beck, more than 16.5 rushing yards to complete that lineup. You, of course, can go up to 6 players, but, you know, when you get one of these discounted ones, I kind of turn it into a 2-player lineup, 20 to win 60. Good chance you're going to hit on that, so take advantage. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in your lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. Okay. News of the day. The Bears have worked out 3 running backs. We'll tell you who those running backs are. I want to give Aaron Wilson credit. Royce Freeman, who you guys could be familiar with. Kylin James, Dillon Johnson, who you might not be familiar with. So we'll kind of tell you about these guys here as we go along. I'll say this is the category of player of this feels like they just need someone to help get through Friday night because the Bears are a little banged up right now. These are not guys who are probably 53-man roster candidates, not only for the Bears, but for any team. There's a reason they're still available this time of year. This is hey, you guys want to help us get through this game? You get a little money, and hey, if you pop, maybe some team puts you on the practice squad, maybe even us. You never know. That's my take on this list of running backs. And look, the Bears are dinged up back there. Kyle Monangai, I'm hoping he could play Friday. We'll have to wait and see. No idea what Roschon Johnson's short or long-term status is at this point. We should know more on him tomorrow. Travis Homer as well. And then Deion Hankins got injured in the game also. They also didn't play DeAndre Swift in the second preseason game. They may want to hold off there. So if that's the case, you're really thin. You're talking about Britton Brown, Ian Wheeler kind of having to hold it down. So bringing in 1 or 2 guys to get through this game could make some sense. Royce Freeman, the name most of you guys will know compared to the other 2 especially. He's had a cup of coffee in the league. He's bounced around teams for 6 or 7 years. Almost 2,000 career rushing yards, over 500 receiving yards. Decent little back. Great college player at Oregon for a number of years. He last played in the NFL for the Rams in 2023 when they had some injuries. So, again, this is not a caliber of player that you're expecting to make your team. But, hey, can you eat 8 carries for us on Friday night? We'll teach you 3 concepts between now and then. That's kind of what you're looking for here. Dillon Johnson, he was a UDFA last year. I think he spent some time on Carolina's practice squad. And then Kylin James, UDFA this year out of UNLV, rushed for over 1,100 yards last year. So that's certainly intriguing. I would guess if they're working 3 out, they're at least going to bring in 1, if not 2. If they do, they'll have to make a roster move, which means they'll cut someone who they've already determined is not going to make the 53-man roster. So we'll see who that ends up being. But keep an eye on that as they look to add a running back for Friday. The question, though, is a long-term addition needed? Do they need to add to this room for the season? That was a position we were looking at coming into training camp because you have DeAndre Swift and some relative question marks. I feel good about Kyle Monangai. He's on this team, assuming he's healthy, and Ben Johnson said it was not a long-term issue, so I think he's good to go. I think a healthy Roschon Johnson is on this team, but he's been out for more than 2 weeks. Travis Homer's fine, but he's really just a special teamer. Is Ian Wheeler, Deion Hankins, or Brenton Brown a rosterable player? I don't know. I feel like the best of that bunch you probably keep on the practice squad. So kind of comes down to this. Do you feel good about Roschon? If yes, okay, your room might be set. If not, do you go out and get a Brian Robinson? Do you see if a Kenneth Walker or a Breece Hall becomes available? We'll have to wait and see over the next few days, but keep an eye on this because I don't think they're necessarily locked in with this running back room at this point in time. What say you? Do the Bears need to add a running back for the 53-man roster, not just Royce Freeman for Friday night? Do they need to get a more permanent solution to pair with DeAndre Swift? Type Y for yes, they do. Type N for no, they do not. I'm on the fence. I'd love to hear more about this Roschon situation, but if you're uncomfortable there, then I would say yes, you probably do need to add someone. And we talked about Brian Robinson earlier today, so if you want to go check out that video, hit that subscribe button. Be sure to do so. Once you do subscribe, go to the content tab. You can see all of our videos here on the channel, both shorts, long form, and our live shows as well. My name is Harrison Graham. Speaking of live shows, we're going live tomorrow instead of Thursday, probably 4 o'clock Central Time again. With the game on Friday, we want to space it out a little bit. So Wednesday live show, and then, of course, our watch party on Friday. So subscribe, and we'll see you then.